Hello YouTube, this is Chris with Task Force 247 Airsoft, sponsored by Fox Airsoft, located in Parker, Colorado, coming today to you with a great new review of another great weapon. So today I put a post up on the Facebook page of a mystery weapon. It was wrapped in the Soviet flag, and I asked how many of you could hint at what it was. We got some ridiculous things. Probably my favorite one of what is this is it was a FAMAS. Don't want to point fun at whoever that was. That just thoroughly entertained me. So, without further ado, we have a weapon that I have been wanting for a very long time, finally got my hands on, and now I'm going to do part one of a two-part review. This first review will be just the basic externals, first impression. Next review will be done in a week or two when I get out to go field it. This is the A&K PKM. So, this is a pretty beefy weapon. There's a lot of things that come to mind when you think of this one. A lot of people often mistake the PKM with the PKP Pechneg. That is it's close enough. I mean, most people won't really care, but if you get on a post about it, with a lot of people who know what they're talking about when it comes to Russian weapons, you will get your ass chewed out big time. So the main differences between this and the PKP Pechneg are the side drop carry handle. It's got one stationary carry handle going over the main barrel that starts here, forks up, and then connects with the receiver to give you a stationary carry handle. And there's various gas tube improvements and things along that nature. It's basically the difference between the AK-47 and the AKM. Just very slight user-friendly add-ons is a good way to put it. So let's start from the front of this weapon up. When you do receive this weapon, you will get a bright orange flash hider about this long. It looks like an SVD flash hider. This one is a PKM Gen 2 or something like that, one of the more modern ones. I prefer the longer style, and I'm probably going to be getting one of those later. But this is just what the weapon came with. I did get this second hand from a friend of mine. Moving down a little bit, we have the bipod. The bipod at first annoyed me like crazy until I found it out the trick. So, first instinct when you have a bipod, for me, was to fold it towards you and clamp it, which obviously, if you want to hold this weapon, gives a very awkward thing to hold on to, and then the bipod can swing open from squeezing it together, things of that nature. But this bipod does fold forward, and that is the proper way to carry it, is with the bipod pushed forward. This is a very formidable weapon, and it's extremely heavy. I want to say it's coming in right at about 23 to 24 pounds with an empty mag. So that is a pretty impressive weapon right there, as far as size goes. Moving right here, we do have underneath here, there's these two buttons. It says slower and faster. That's to adjust the fire rate. I am getting that taken off next time I bring this gun in to get some work done to it, because I think that is just a horrible feature on saws. It just messes with your battery life too much. I just don't like it at all. We're probably going to get this thing fixed at about 25 rounds per second, somewhere in there. Going right through here, we just like regular other saws, we have the chain intake, and when you spin it around, we have the chain outtake. So you can put 7.62x5.4R dummy rounds in this. It is fairly hard to find them. I am working on it through the Rushing Russians forum and some other sources of mine to get a complete set. Take the back lever, just like an AK, push it in, swings up like a regular saw. In here, you have your wiring. You lift up the bullet feed mechanism. I just have them tucked inside of the feeding tray. Let's get a better look at the wiring, feed them through under here. This drops down. Let's get a closer look in on that. So this little ammo guide drops down, and that's what holds the wires snug and out of sight. So the wires are very minimal when it comes to how much in the way of things they are. So what I do is I just take them here, tuck them in through the bullet feed tray, which I believe is what you're supposed to do anyway. You will have a fuse on this. I just bypassed it like the moment I got it because I hate fuses. They take up too much space and they just make the gun, I don't know, I just find that it just wastes time on the gun. It helps trigger response just to bypass the fuse, in my opinion. So moving on, let's close the dust cover again. This does have an inverse AK sighting system. For all of you, this is heavy to hold like this, all of you who know the AK sight, this one slides in the reverse. Instead of tilting this way, it tilts this way. I'm not sure what the reasoning for that is on the PKM, but the sights do go up to 1,500 meters, which is right here. And you can see that's a very large sight slant. That's about 45 degrees, just eyeballing it. I usually keep it right about 700 meters, just for sight picture and everything. It just keeps it a nice level cheek weld, good fast aim. Airsoft, you don't really need to worry about how legit the sighting is put in. The entire body of this weapon is solid steel and aluminum. The main body down here is all steel. I believe the dust cover is aluminum. The feeding tray is some heavy gauged aluminum, could be steel. The outer barrel is steel. Other things, magnets stick to this thing like crazy. There's very few parts that aren't steel. You can put real PKM grips on this. The motor is not housed in here like on a regular AK. The motor is housed right here, along with the version 8 gearbox. So being able to put the real steel furniture on this is very nice. I like having that small AK pistol grip that a lot of people aren't accustomed to in airsoft because of the motor grips. Moving on down to the stock, this is getting replaced with wood. If any of you guys know me or watch my videos, I'm a complete wood fanatic when it comes to Russian weapons. I hate having polymer on weapons when I don't need to. PKM is a big example of that. PKM and the SVD are probably the two weapons that I have to have wood on. So that's probably going to be my first buy. There's a little screw cap in the back right here. You just unscrew this. And this pulls out a sight adjustment tool for your front sight. Just a little prong right there. You put that around your front sight and twist it left or right to increase the elevation of your zero. So that is nice. This does have the exact same mounting position and dimensions as the real PKM. So you can buy PKM wood furniture and put it on here without having to get the shitty airsoft furniture from all those other super stores that offer this high quality wood for $150 when the real PKM wood is half the price. That is just something I hate. Evike sells wood kits for SVDs, AKs, and PKs, and their wood kits are $100 to $160 when I can get wood for about $100 with shipping of $20. So I think getting the real wood is a lot better, and just when you get this thing, you might love polymer and thinks it makes it look sleek and black and tactical. Just don't. Just get the wood. Right here, you have the saw shoulder rest. That is for propping on your shoulder, so you have a free hand when mounted on the bipod, etc. Nothing too special there. That's pretty standard in most saws. Right here we have the bolt, which is not spring-loaded like most AEGs are. It is just like most saws where the bolt is just inert and dead. So that's just one thing there. Moving on, let's get to the mag, because a lot of people have dispute of if these are high quality or not. So let's move on down the line. I don't know where to put this thing right now. Where do I hide my 4.5-foot gun? Okay, so moving on to the magazine. Magazine is the full box mag, custom to the PKM. This holds 100 rounds with about 10 sticking out of the top with the bullet tray. The bullet tray has a scale 7.62 by 5.4 on it. It features the Cordura pull tabs for putting in and out of pouches, which is very nice. To open the mag, you flip this lever up, line it up with the slot. Mag pulls open. Open inside the mag, if we can get a good angle of light in there. I don't know, you can't really, but it's just a slanted tube with the gears in the bottom, with the feed tube going up at an angle. This is my favorite thing about this PKM. It does not have a feed tube sticking out of the side like M60s or 249s. It is fed like a regular AEG. So I'll close that right here. There's the feed nozzle. Right there, you press this nub and it releases the BBs, etc. On the bottom, you have a switch that has the constant feed, indirect feed, and the battery feed. I keep it on the middle one, which is the indirect feed. If you hold the trigger, it'll feed the mags. It'll feed the ammo for you. Constant feed, I don't understand the point of it. Constant feed is only good for getting the first initial amount of BBs up into the hop-up. Other than that, it's useless. So, really quick before we wrap this up, let's go through a PKM reload, because it is a little tricky the first time. Drop that bipod. So, we're going to go through the reload and unload. What you have to do is, let me get this up so I can do this with one hand. You have to unload with your right hand and reload with your left hand. It's very weird. The way I do it so I don't drop the mag is I put fingers through here, grab the pull tab on top, swing it over, swing the mag down, bring it away. Now say I just pulled the next mag out, you grab it on this side, latch it down, and swing it in. So far I would give this PKM a 9 out of 10. It does need a little bit of work, but this is a great saw for the price. You can get these for about $400 to $450 depending on where you get them, and they are incredible. So stay tuned for a shooting and field test next. This is Chris with Task Force 247 Airsoft, signing out.